Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the kitchen and we're going to be starting our sourdough recipe. We're going to show you guys how to make a sourdough starter. It takes about 9 days and we're going to be following the advice of our friend Heather over there at the Kneady Homesteader. She's started a series and a Facebook group, kind of a support group for people wanting to do it. But guys, this is a 9-day process. If you'd like to do this along with us, I'm going to break this up into 9 videos. And we'll show you the progress each day and what you need to be doing each day to keep your starter rolling. Now, one thing we're going to start with is there's a debate back and forth about whether rye flour or wheat flour is better to start your starter with. And since we're going to send you over and ask you to check out Heather over there at the Kneady Homesteader, she is doing hers with rye. So we are going to do ours with whole wheat flour. And then you'll be able to see both ways of doing it. There's no real difference other than the end result, and I don't really think there's going to be much of a difference there either. So guys, we're going to get started on this. I'll kind of tell you about the process as we go along, but we hope that you'll give it a try. Sourdough is a lot better for you than white bread. There's been a lot of memes and jokes going around about that, but guys, just follow along with us. We'll get down here and we'll measure some things out and we'll get that sourdough starter getting going. Alrighty guys, we're getting all set up to make this sourdough starter. And like I said, we're going to be following pretty much the directions that Heather gave us over there at the Kneady Homesteader. But we've got our equipment out here. We'll run through it real quick. We have some largemouth pint jars. You'll see that each one has a hairband around the bottom of it. We'll tell you what that's for here in just a little bit. We've got our scale and 3 more hairbands. We've got 3 coffee filters back there. We're going to be measuring 2 ingredients for this. We're going to be measuring warm, dechlorinated water. That's water you can, if you don't have it, you can just leave the water out overnight and then warm it up in the morning. And we're going to be using whole wheat flour. So we've got a canning funnel out here that'll make things easier to get in the jars. We've got our debubbler for canning. That's going to help us out here in a little bit too. We've got our scale. That's about a $10 scale from Amazon, pretty easy to use, and it measures in grams, which is what we needed to do for this. But this is pretty much the equipment you're going to need, and if you've ever tried to start a starter before, you know sometimes they fail. So we are going to be starting 3 starters at the same time. If they all work, we may just dump them together, and if only one makes it, then at least we'll have one to work with. So guys, this is pretty much the basic equipment you're going to need. We're going to be using flour and water. Sourdough bread is a combination kind of fermentation, and we're going to be drawing the natural Lactobacillus out of the air, and that's going to serve as our yeast. We're not going to put any yeast in this. We're not going to put any sugar in it. We're just going to let the natural Lactobacillus feed on the whole wheat flour, and we'll go through that day by day as we feed our starter. But if you'd like to get started with us now, this is pretty much the equipment you're going to need. Alrighty guys, we've got our scale out here, and the first thing we're going to need is 50 grams of whole wheat flour. So what we're going to do, we'll turn the scale on. We're going to add our measuring cup. We're going to go ahead and zero the scale out for the cup, and then we're going to need 50 grams of whole wheat flour. So we'll just add this in slow. See about where we get. We'll go faster at first. Make sure we don't go over. Making a mess here. That's pretty common for me. Not a big deal. Alright. Getting closer here. 44, better slow down some. I know a lot of people do things by measuring cups and stuff, but if you do it by weight, it's a lot more accurate. So you get better results, especially in bread making, which can be awful finicky. But we are almost to our 50 grams. And the scale shut off on us. 50 grams, right on the nose. Well, went back down. Alright, we'll give it a pinch for good luck. There you go. Alright guys, what we're going to do, we'll take the flour here, we're going to go over here and we're going to use our canning funnel and we're going to add it to the jar. And I'm going to go ahead off camera and we'll go ahead and do these other 2 jars too. So we'll get all 3 jars done and then we'll bring you right back. Alrighty guys, as you can see, we've got our 50 grams of whole wheat flour added to each one of the jars. And for right now, we're getting away with using a wide mouth pint jar, but as your starter grows, we're going to be moving into bigger and bigger jars. We're also going to be feeding it and discarding parts of it. So we'll cover all of that when we get to it, but you're okay to start with the pint jars. And we're going to be moving on to the water next. That's our dechlorinated water. We're going to need 50 grams of each, or 50 grams for each one. And we're going to go through the same process. We're going to zero out the scale and put it in the cups, and then we'll add it to each one as we go. So hang on one second and I'll show you how we do that. Alrighty guys, pretty much the same process here with the water. We're going to turn on the scale. We're going to add our measuring cup. We're going to zero out the scale, and then we're going to real slowly, we're going to re-zero out the scale. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and real slowly add our warm water. It's not very much water guys, so go slow. There you go, 50 grams. Now let's see if I can do this one-handed. We're going to take our water over here. We've got our canning funnel set up, and we're going to go ahead and add our water to the jar. So we're going to go back through. I'll get these other 2 done, and then I'll bring you back and show you what we do next. Alrighty guys, what we're going to do next is we need to stir this up, and we need to stir it really, really well. There was a lot more flour than there was water, so it's going to be awful thick. You can expect, I'll try to get it up there so you can see it, but you want to make sure you don't have any dry clumps of flour in there. And also, we're we're not adding any yeast, so we're borrowing the natural Lactobacillus that flies around in the air. So don't be afraid to give it a good stir and work some air down in there. That'll increase your chances of a successful starter. So guys, we're going to go ahead and get this mixed up here. Then we'll just kind of level it out. Poke a few holes in it. Let some air down in there. I'll show that to you there. Not sure how Heather gets her wonderful camera angles, but kudos to her. So guys, let me get these other 2 mixed up and I'll show you what we do next. But don't be afraid to mix and mix and mix. It's going to get really, really thick, but it'll loosen up as it goes. So guys, we'll just get these others stirred up. I'll bring you right back and talk to you a little more. Alrighty guys, we got our 3 starters mixed up here, and now we're going to talk about those hair bands that we got around the bottoms of the jars. Guys, there's 2 things you want to look for as your starter matures. The first is going to be signs of bubbling, and the second is going to be signs of growth. So a hair tie makes a really good way. We put those down to the level of the starter, and we'll be sorry the stirring kind of mucked the stuff up there on the side, but we can see through it enough. We've set our hair bands to the height of the starter, and that'll show us if we've got any growth. So guys, that's going to be about it. What we're going to do is we're going to get these covered. I'll show you how we do that, and then we'll finish up and tell you how to store these guys. So guys, let me get set up and I'll show you how we cover them. Alrighty guys, I'm going to bring you back in here. I kind of skipped a step, and I've realized that if I cover them now, I won't be able to show you something I really want to show you. So guys, one of the most important things when you make a sourdough starter is that your starter have a fitting name. Now I've seen them named Bubbles or Herman, all kinds of things. The people over on the Kneady Homesteader sourdough starter list have some come up with some really, really great names. But this is mine, and I'm just going to be a guy in the kitchen, so I will reveal my names, see what you think. Alrighty guys, now we're going to go ahead and get these guys covered. I hope you enjoyed the names. I'm not going to say them out loud for copyright reasons, but we're going to go ahead and get these covered up. I'll show you how we do that in just a second. Alrighty guys, we've got our other two covered. So I'll bring you in real quick and I'll just show you it's real easy. We're going to take a coffee filter. The bottom of the coffee filter is about exactly the same size as a wide mouth pint. We're going to put one of those hair ties over the top, fluff it up so it looks real nice. And guys, we're going to have these ready for putting up. We're going to keep them in a warm, dark space. Probably, I've seen people have been setting them in the oven near their oven light. If you do that, please put a cake pan or a cookie sheet or something underneath them. They do have a tendency to overflow when you least expect it. We happen to have a cabinet that sits right over the top of one of our heat vents. That keeps it plenty warm, but we're shooting for around 80 degrees. But they will continue to grow. They'll just grow slower at room temperature if that's all you've got. And that goes for a lot of things, guys. If you don't have the mason jars, that's just what we have. We do a lot of canning. You don't have to do that, but we would suggest a glass jar. You can add a canning lid to the top of them. Just don't screw the ring down. But you can set a canning lid on top of them to seal them. But guys, just use whatever you've got. But we'll back up here a second. We'll take a picture of these, and then we'll be right back. Alrighty guys, there's our three amigos all ready to go. So we're going to find a warm home for them. We're going to drag them back out tomorrow. We'll take a look at it. We'll put out a video every day so you can see what to expect. And if anything happens in the odd hours, we'll make sure we get pictures of it. But we're going to grow these with no sugar and no yeast. Just going to be a combination of fermentation and the natural lactobacillus in the air. So guys, if you're interested in following this along, we're going to try to put out a video every day for the next 9 days. That's how long it takes to get them really going. And we'd like to see your progress. You can tell us about it in the comments, or come on over to the Facebook page and leave your comments and pictures there. We'd love to see them. So guys, we'll get out of here. That's what they look like. We're going to find them a nice little home where they can sit for about the next week or so. And that's going to be about it. So guys, we appreciate you following along. Hang on one second. Alrighty guys, it's about going to wrap things up for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Guys, we're going to try to have a video out every day and show you the progress on the starters. We're also going to try to put all the videos into a playlist. We'll try to link all of them back. We'll stick a card or something up here in the corner so you guys can find it. But I want you to be sure to go over and visit our friend Heather over at the Kneady Homesteader. She is the one that set this series in motion, and we really appreciate it. It's a great skill to have. It's a lot better for you than white bread, and guys, it's just fun to do. So, and guys can do it too. Don't worry about it. You won't lose a corner off your man card. But it's great. It's great bread and a great way to get started in the kitchen. If you haven't done anything else, guys, just get in there and try something simple. It don't get much easier than bread and water, or flour and water. So I can't even get it that right. So guys, if I can do it, you can do it. But we hope you enjoy the series. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to be feeding the sourdough starter, and we'll just keep on rolling from there. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would, leave us a comment down below. Your thumbs up and comments really help. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, we hope you'll subscribe. We really appreciate the support. So we're going to get on out of here. Guys, we'll catch you in the next one.